You have a very common name, and there are a gajillion Francisco Martinez's out there. Unfortunately, there is someone wanted in that jurisdiction that has your name. So this is part of an ag rob as well, right?
Welcome to Bench Report Court Cam.
Hey, Judge. I'm approaching on a fugitive case, Mr. Francisco Martinez.
Okay.
We have the interpreter here, Ms. Fleischer. This is one where I think they arrested the wrong guy, so it's going to be released. The only issue is this might pop up in the future, so I don't know if where he gets the
not me letter. He has to go to the demanding jurisdiction, ask the judge, or it could be the prosecutor assigned to the case, saying that this is my face attached to this government name. I have a different FBI number, whatever they want to pick. I don't care, but because it's the same date of birth, so that's going to be irrelevant for the not me letter.
How do you know? Did you do
tattoos and FBI number and mugshots?
Okay.
It's a common name, and I
yes,
guess
it's a very common name.
I guess common-ish date of birth.
Ish, or the same date?
But no, it's same date of birth. It's just we had one happen last week, so 2 in 2 weeks is kind of unusual.
Yeah, I would say so. So you're definitely going to file a nollie now?
I already filed the dismissal.
Okay. So where is it that he goes? I don't remember.
Where is it that he goes?
To get that letter?
Yeah, that's the thing.
But where? I don't even remember.
Illinois. Wait, sorry?
Oh, yeah, that's where he's from.
That's where he'd have to get it from.
Oh, he's going to have to go up there.
Right.
Where though? Is it at
is it county?
Is it at a sheriff's office or?
No, it's going to have to be by the court or the prosecutor, because they're the ones attached to the case that they're going for. Because ultimately it's the warrant, and if the warrant's recalled, it makes it all irrelevant. But
morning, Mr. Martinez. You have a very common name, and there are a gajillion Francisco Martinez's out there. Unfortunately, there is someone wanted in that jurisdiction that has your name. And you see now that you've been wrongly arrested, you're going to be released today. The fear is that this continues to happen. So I don't know, there are methods out there. And Mr. Kim, you say there's a letter that he can get.
yes,
What we're going to do is, I cannot give you legal advice, but I'm going to have your lawyer that we've appointed to represent you tell you how you can take care of this so that it doesn't happen again. So we're going to process you out. You should be out within hopefully the next 4 to 6 hours. Ricardo will tell you how to go about getting a letter so that this doesn't happen again. Do you have any questions? Did you want to add anything, Ricardo?
What's fair to say, Judge? It's just a bad situation. This man was arrested for this, not even. Not a good situation.
Yeah, I mean, mistakes have been made, and I don't know, I guess the arresting officer, I don't understand why they wouldn't do just a little bit deeper dive.
Well, when they're on the field and it's obviously an arrest in the evening, is us being one of the few agencies that's truly 24/7, is that they can only confirm by teletype for whatever the fugitive division is. And so with it's most commonly name and date of birth, and statistically that should narrow it down, but it's just, because you can't take or you can't send
have mobile apices
for that when they get processed in, but that only brings them in for, again, the same name and date of birth, but you can't trade mugshots with the demanding jurisdiction. Because the teletypes can't support images. And so ultimately it's only what the text is, and that text is the name and date of birth. So
on that sense, Judge, wouldn't his fingerprint goes with
and that's why I was, they've got these mobile apices that
the mobile thing where they could just test him and see if it's his prints or not.
Sure, but the majority of warrants, the way they're sent by teletype, again, a thumbprint can't be imaged in a teletype. So even if, yes, there is a thumbprint, but there's no way
the thumbprint should be able to verify who this person is, whether they have the correct date of birth.
But
mugshots.
But that only corresponds to the warrant for the demanding jurisdiction if they have something to match it against. So that's the issue is, yes, they can pull it up on our side, but it's the same way even for our parole violations is they can't check on scene, especially at 1 a.m. That's why we're the second check, is that we're able to verify if there's a thumbprint, mugshot, etc.
You're going to be released here momentarily. I'll have Ricardo tell you how to take the next steps, though. Okay? All right. Good luck, Mr. Martinez. Thank you.
I think we still need to approach on a different one from Mr. Diaz. We'll approach soon. Gary Allen.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Gary Allen.
Oh, he's outside talking to his lawyer.
Okay.
Just give him a second. You are Brett Ware? Mr. Ware, you're charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You're facing up to a year of jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On December 28, 2024, the officer was dispatched to a robbery that just occurred in Harris County, Texas at a restaurant. While en route, the officer observed males walking on the south side of the store where the robbery had occurred, matching the description the reportee provided. The officer called in an attempt to contact the two individuals and located the two males wearing dark hoodies, dark pants, and shirts tied to their heads that looked like makeshift ski masks. The officer made contact and asked if it was okay if they were patted down for weapons, and both individuals ran off. A short pursuit lasted approximately 50 feet, where the co-defendant slipped on a puddle of water, and the defendant ran approximately 5 feet before being grabbed by the officer. The defendant, 19 years old, whilst trying to stand the defendant on his feet to walk him to the patrol vehicle, the officer found on the defendant a loaded Glock 9mm, which fell out of the pant leg of the defendant.
So this is part of an ag rob as well, right?
Amanda Marsh.
Yes, Judge.
What happened on the ag rob?
One moment, Your Honor. So during the ag rob, the complainant stated that while he was walking into the store to grab his food order, the two males stood outside the store watching him, and as he walked out of the restaurant, they blocked his path, and one of them pulled out a gun on him, and the other yelled at him for his wallet and keys.
Where is this?
It was, one moment, there's an address, but not a name of the business. At a Sonny's food store.
Got it. Mr. Ware, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or illegal drugs, I'm going to put you in jail. No more PR bonds. I'm now also giving you a curfew. I don't want you out in the middle of the night. And I'm going to put a monitor on your ankles so I know where you are at all times. Do you understand? If I find that you're a danger to my community, I'm going to lock you up and I'm going to make your bond so high. Do you understand, sir? No contact with the co-defendant in this case and no weapons as well.
Yes, sir.
How old are you, sir?
19.
Did you graduate from high school?
Yes, sir.
What are you doing with yourself now?
Not much.
Are you working?
No, sir. I was planning on going to the military. I was talking to a military.
I want to know what you're doing with yourself. If you're working, if you're doing anything, because I want you to get a job. Too much time on your hands, you become self-destructive. You need something to do.
Forklift license. And I'm going to a class for forklift.
Good. Get it done. You need to get a job, and I want to make sure that you're going to get a job. I'm going to provide you a lawyer today, but I want to see here within the next couple of weeks what you have done to get a job. If you've done nothing, life's not going to go well. Do you understand?
Sir.
In this life, you have to be productive. You have to either get yourself an education or get yourself a trade, a job, because I'm going to tell you now, when you turn 40, if you don't have a career, if you don't have an education, if you don't have anything, this life is not going to be a good one for you, because I'm going to tell you, life sucks without money. You need money, otherwise it's going to be just a rotten toilet of an existence. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So we're going to make sure here you're going to leave better than you came. So you must either get a job or get into school full time. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to give you a lawyer today, and I'm going to bring you back in 2 weeks, and we'll see what you've done with yourself.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thanks for watching. Stick around longer and click the highlighted videos to your right. See you there.